Hi everybody. I find you. I find you. It's a beautiful Saturday. How you doing today? So how you doing today? My name is Bide Nishomwe. Your financial planner. Let's see who will be the first to come up today. Let's see. The king or the queen. Welcome, Onyinye. Thank you. How are you today? Hi, Cyprus. Just say something. Just say hello. Welcome, Cosmi Udoka Nebonta. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's a beautiful Saturday, like I said. Right here, the sun is out, so shiny. You know, everywhere is so hot here, but very beautiful environment. Can you hear me very well? Let me know if you can hear me well. Can you hear me well? Say something. Okay. So last week is just 12 o'clock on the dot. Let's see if more people will come in before we start. Let's see if more people will come in. Welcome, Sheikh, the king himself. Welcome. Welcome. Greetings to you, Queen Onyinye. Thank you for joining me this morning. So last week I dealt on the topic. Today is a continuation of what I spoke about last week. 25 important questions you must ask yourself when it comes to your money, when it comes to your finance, when it comes to planning your finances. There are more than 25 questions, but there are certain questions you must ask yourself. So last week I mentioned 10. So if you missed it, you can go straight back to my page, Facebook page. So you will see the teaching I did last week Saturday. So today is continuation. So I'm going to give, I think, 5 to 10 points of some questions you must ask yourself when planning your finances or when planning your money. So number one is that's number 11. So today, number one thing you must ask yourself. Oh, my pastor is online. Welcome, Pastor Samson. So good to see you. I'm so honored. So number one question you must ask yourself is, how many bank accounts do you operate? How many bank accounts do you operate? I know back in Nigeria, you have people that have 6, 4, 5, 6, 7 bank accounts. Amen. God bless you too, sir. So how many bank accounts do you have that you know that they are not functioning? Those are part of the questions you must ask yourself. So if you have 1, if you have 2, if you have 3 bank accounts, those accounts must be functioning. You must maximize those accounts. You must also know the kind of accounts that you run. If it's a savings account, if it's a current account, if it's a fixed deposit account, you should also know that. So know how many accounts that you have, and if some of them are not functioning very well, you let them go. But ensure that you maximize your account. Maximize your account to the fullest, because I'm sure it has some attributes and some characteristics, so you have to maximize it. So one question you must ask yourself: how many accounts do I have? If they are not functioning, let them go, close them, and use the one that are functioning. So number 2 is, do you know the principle of compound interest? Do you know the principle of compound interest, compounding? I know we have some, I'm sure we have some, economics or mathematics, mathematicians around, but compounding has to do with, for example, if you have a savings account and your savings account earns you, let's say, 8% per annum. Per annum simply means a whole year. So let's assume that what you earn in a year is 8%. At the end of that, so maybe your interest is paid on a monthly basis. So let's assume that on a monthly basis they pay you, let's say $2 or $5 comes into your account. So at the end of that month, you have $5 interest, and your initial amount, let's assume that you have $5,000 in the account. So $5,000 plus your $5, when you add it together, that's maybe 5,005, right? So, but the following month, when they are going to pay you interest, they are not going to pay you interest on your $5,000. They are going to pay you interest on your $5,005. So that's compounding. So as it goes, it grows. As time goes, it grows, especially if you're adding more money to it and you're adding more funds to it. So one of the things you should practice is you must practice compounding. So if you are saving for a future time, get an account where you know that it has interest rate, and especially a good interest, so you can decide that in the next 10 years, this is what you want to be saving every year. If it's running at an interest, on a compounding interest, then it grows over time. So what I'm trying to say is ensure that you practice the principle of interest, compounding. It helps you. It's one of the ways wealthy people, that's how they grow their money. Welcome, Queen Informa. Thank you for tuning in. So compounding, don't forget that. I know it's an economical or mathematical word, but it's very good. It's a good way of growing your money. Principle of compound interest. The third point is, question you must ask yourself is, how much do you want to give out every month? How much do you want to reach out to people? How much is it that you want to bless people with? People who don't have things to eat, people who don't have school fees to pay. But you must structure your income in such a way that you must create an amount where you'll be giving to people, no matter how small. No matter how small the amount is, but you must dedicate a certain amount to giving. It's very good for you. It's also very good for the society. Sorry. Welcome, King Kenneth. Thank you for tuning in. You can imagine if everybody in the nation, if they dedicate, maybe in a month, they have an amount where they give to people who don't have enough, or people who have financial issues or challenges. Trust me, I'm sure the poverty rate is going to decrease. Not only giving them money, but if you also dedicate a portion of your knowledge to people, teaching them how things could be done. It's not only about money. You must also teach people how they can go about their daily lifestyle. So number 3, I said, how much do you want to dedicate to giving in a month? You must schedule it. Don't just give out of the blues. Don't just assume that, okay, I can just give anything. Yes, giving is good, but you must also schedule how much you want to give on a monthly basis. Number 4, what constitutes, welcome Queen Ogenetega, welcome Queen Inwodia. What constitutes your daily expenses? What do you have an idea of what you spend on? You know, I posted something 2 days ago and I said, call down on window shopping. And someone wrote and said, God help us, we women. You see, it's not that you should not shop, but you must cost waste. You must avoid waste at all costs. The reason is because when you get to a position where one of the problems that people are so greedy and they are comfortable with stealing is because they've not learned how to actually manage their own personal resources. So if you find someone in the corridors of power who spends money anyhow, spends money that is not even his, it's because he didn't do his due diligence when he had just little, when he had small amount. So if you can manage small amounts effectively, even if 1 billion gets to your hand, that's the same strategy, even though your knowledge must have changed, but you know that you know how to manage funds. And that's the problem of less developed countries. They waste so much money on things that are not relevant. They spend money that they don't even have. They spend money that does not even belong to them. They spend money that they borrowed maybe to do business, but guess what? They spend such funds on perishable goods, things that won't produce things for them. So know what constitutes your expenses, and if you have kids, also teach them how to manage money. Teach them. If you give them $1, ensure that they don't spend everything you give to them. The best time to build them is when they are young. So if you give them $5, ensure that they don't spend on the $5. If you give them $10, ensure that you instill into them a culture of saving, a saving culture. Because once they can have that, once they grow, they get used to it, and they know that life is not about spending money or wasting money all around. So know what constitutes your daily expenses. Number 5, this is very important and very serious. Do you know what you're worth per hour? Do you know your worth per hour? So if they are paying you at your place of work and they tell you at the end of the year this is what they will pay you, monthly basis, this is what you earn, do you know to calculate how much, depending on how many days you work? So let's assume you earn $1,000 in a month and you work maybe 20 days. So divide 1,000 divided by 20 days. That's what you earn in a month, in a day. So divide that by, let's say, 24 hours. You have an idea of what you earn per hour. I now want to ask you, is that really your worth? 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 So know the average you earn per hour is very important. It will help you to think. It will help you to think broad and wide, to know that you are worth more than what people are paying you. You are worth more than what people say you are. You are worth more. Welcome, Professor Akinola Babatunde. I'm so honored. I celebrate you. So know what you're worth per hour. Know what you're worth per hour. Thank you. Someone said, Queen Informa said, the first time I was asked that question, I didn't know how to answer. Thanks for this. Yeah, so you need to know what you earn per hour is very important. And I don't know what number, maybe number 5, number 6. This is also very important. Do you know what God is saying about money and wealth? You need to know what God is saying about it. I won't tell you what God is saying about it, but you need to discover for yourself what money is, what people call wealth. Some people are so crazy about money that they do the wrong things. Why? Because they don't even know the basis of their existence. So once they have the money, they spend to entice people. They spend to make people know that guy is wealthy. Yes, legitimate wealth is very good. When you make money legitimately, it's the best thing. But know what God is saying about money and wealth in general. So when you find people who have money that is not, that didn't make money in the right way, those are not the best people to emulate. Those are not the best people to so sorry to say, to make your role models, because they didn't make money the right way. So know what God is saying about wealth. It's very important. That is our own mentor, individual of us. That is our best mentor of the whole world. So know what God is saying about wealth. Welcome, Mr. Awopeju Sunday. I celebrate you. So that's number 5. That's number 7. Do you regularly go for financial checkups? You know, people go for, if they have heartaches, they have body pains, you know, they go to the gym to exercise. But few people pay attention to their finances. Do you know, I can easily predict how you live if I know the state of your finances. If your finances are so shabby, I can depict that some part of your life will also be shabby. Why? Because you spend money every day. You need resources to get things done. You need finances. You need to get your dreams achieved. You also need those things. So one of the things you need to learn is you need to check up yourself. It might not be stocking up yourself every day to say, okay, money, no, but you need to be so apt and precise and accurate about your finances so that you know what you have. You know what is coming. You know how much you are owing. You know what's outside. You know every details about it. And that's one good thing about billionaires. They don't. If you see the first 3 billionaires, they don't spend money anyhow. They don't assume that, because they already know their worth. So they don't prove to people to let people know that money determines them. No, they know their worth, so they spend less. So what people call wealth and people are so crazy about, I want to buy this, I want to buy that. They are less crazy about it because they know the purpose of existence is contributing to humanity. So they are dogged about contributing to the world. That's why you see that some of them contribute 80%, 90% of their wealth just to the world, to make their world better. People will never forget them for it. So go for checkups. And part of the checkups you need to do is you need to check your statement of account. Just assume that your statement of account is okay. Sometimes irregular debits might be thrown into your account. Irregular debits, meaning that it could be an error. People make mistakes. So, but when you go through it, you'll be able to find out that, okay, this thing is not meant to be there, and the banking officials or your bankers need to regulate it. So go for checkups. Your statements of accounts, go through them to ensure that people are not putting wrong debits in your account. It happens, I tell you. So you need to go through that. And number 8 is, do you teach your kids about money? Welcome. Let me quickly greet people. Welcome, King Edwin. Welcome, Frank. And welcome, Queen Stella. Welcome, Daniel. Thank you so much, Sunday. I really appreciate you. So my question is, do you teach your kids about money? Do you teach your kids about money? You see, that's one of the mistakes we make, thinking that we need to allow our kids grow before we teach them the laws, the principles of money. From a very young age, you need to teach them that you don't spend all that you earn. My dad usually tells me when I was younger, but I didn't really understand. You must not force them into it, but let them understand why. Let them understand why they need to save. For example, the reason why developing countries will always want to go and be borrowing money all around is because they spend so much so that their reserves, they call it reserves, is so minimal. They don't have reserves. Reserves in government now individually is called savings for us. So if anything happens, we begin to run helter skelter. We want to borrow this, we want to borrow that. So people begin to put you in conditions that are not favorable. Teach your kids about money. Teach your kids about principles of finances. Teach your kids and let them know. And in fact, teach them how to be enterprising at a young age. Find out something they are very good at. Create it in such that it can be a business for them, so that they begin to trade with their friends in classes. If you can do that and build their minds to be enterprising, then we are building a very strong generation at a very young age. So teach your kids about money. And I usually say, but because they might not be able to go to banks all the time, part of the things they need to do is you need to create, buy a piggy bank for them. A piggy bank where they can, I have one is around, so buy a piggy bank for them. Teach them why they need to save a portion of their income, why they must put maybe $1, $2 aside. It's very important. And 19, some people don't know what they earn, including their tax. So know what you earn, including your tax, because you work, so you know what you are contributing to the government itself. So know what you earn, including your tax. Be precise. Know that this is what you earn, and know that this is the tax you pay. It helps you to even know And you can learn more about tax. What are your taxes used for? It's also very good for you. And the last point is how much of your income it's better in developed economies. They don't really spend much on internet and all that. But if you're in Nigeria or places where you spend so much on data, know what exactly you spend on internet. Know what exactly you spend on internet. Know what exactly you spend on the internet. For developed countries, this is actually better. We don't really spend much, but when it comes to some countries, they really still spend much on credits, call cards, and all that. Ensure that does not take away your money. Ensure that the internet, and all that does not take away your money. You must also pay attention to it. Thank you so much for joining me today. I celebrate you, Queen Gift. I celebrate you. Someone said, when you live in debt, you lose your honor. Is that really so? When you live in debt, you lose your honor. It's not always like that. It's not always like that. There are good debts and there are bad debts. I must let you know that. Good debts are debts that you know that maybe you borrow $1 and that $1 is earning you $10. So that when they call for their money, you are paying back that money instantly. That's a good debt because you are paying. You know the interest you're paying. You know what you are owing, and you have enough reserves to pay down. That's a good debt. Bad debt is when you borrow money to buy. For example, you borrow money to buy a car, and you are expecting to pay that money back in the next 10 years. So you have mortgaged your life for the next 10 years, and only if that car is bringing you income, that's when you know that yes, it's worth it. But if it's not bringing you income, that's a bad debt. It simply means that on a monthly basis, out of your salary, you are using that funds to service a perishable. It's actually very perishable because if something happens to it, yes, insurance must have covered the car, but you're still going to pay. So it's not necessarily that debt you will lose your honor, but you must know the difference between good and bad debts. If you are going to borrow at all, I usually advise people to run away from debt. But if you are going to borrow at all, you must do your due diligence. You must do your due diligence and ensure that whatever you are borrowing, it will be something that will be productive. It will add to your income. It will add to your income. Do you understand? Thank you so much. Very brilliant, Essential. Thank you. I'm so honored. Thank you so much for tuning me, for joining me. So next week, I'm also still going to talk about, I just have some few points more on questions you must ask yourself. So you can go over them again, and it's really going to help you. If you're going to borrow, like I said, ensure that you know the rate of interest, ensure that you know how many years you are going to pay that debt, and don't borrow for so long such that it's going to affect your kids. You must put that into perspective. You must put that into condition. And don't forget to teach your kids how to save. And also don't forget to save a portion of your income. I'm so honored. Thank you so much for joining me. I love you all from my heart. Do have a beautiful Saturday. This same time next week, I'm going to join you. Bye and God bless. And don't forget, let's share this. Let's share this. Let's share this. Love you. Bye.